Have you ever noticed how the more you question, the lonelier you feel? It's almost as if every insight you uncover pushes people further away because truth is more unsettling than comfort. When our ideas cut too deep, society recoils, treating curiosity like a threat rather than a gift. What if I told you this isn't just in your head, but a pattern woven through history, where every bold thinker from Socrates to Tesla was first cast out, only to be embraced later? Today, we'll explore why intelligence provokes fear and how deep thinkers can survive and even thrive in a world that'd rather stay asleep. Every day, we're told to fit in, to keep our heads down and follow the crowd. But what happens when you can't stop asking questions? When you see patterns others ignore or imagine possibilities that feel too strange to share? You start to feel out of sync. You realize that most people find security in sameness, in simple answers and familiar routines. Deep thinking, on the other hand, demands discomfort. It forces us to stare at problems bigger than ourselves, to challenge traditions, and to admit that the world isn't as tidy as we'd like. In today's fast-paced, connected world, we're surrounded by noise, endless scrolling, constant updates, and surface-level chatter. There's little space for the quiet reflection that deep thought requires. And when someone pauses to explore an idea that threatens the cozy stories we tell ourselves about who we are and how things work, there's often backlash. It's not that society hates smart people. It's that raw insight can feel like a judgment on everyone else's choices. Understanding this isn't just an intellectual exercise. It matters right now because innovation, progress, and real change all come from those who dare to think differently. If we want solutions to climate change, social injustice, or personal fulfillment, we need people willing to stand apart and to face rejection along the way. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into why society tends to push these thinkers aside and how that resistance has echoed through history. Imagine walking into a room and pointing out a loose floorboard that could trip someone. Most people will nod politely and move on, but a few will stop, bend down, and start fixing it. Deep questions work the same way. They reveal cracks in the stories we tell ourselves. When you ask, what if our beliefs are wrong? Or why do we follow certain rules? You're exposing uncertainty. For many, uncertainty feels like danger. It reminds them that they might be wrong or that their comfort is built on shaky ground. So instead of saying, tell me more, they push you aside, labeling your questions as threats. When you keep probing, you begin to notice how shallow most conversations are. Weather, sports, what someone had for lunch. Not because those topics aren't fine, but because they're safe. Deep thinkers crave more. They want to discuss purpose, ethics, or the hidden forces behind our choices. Over time, this gap widens. Friends drift away or stop inviting you to gatherings. You might feel like an outsider at family dinners, where raising tough ideas seems rude. This isolation isn't self-inflicted drama. It's a natural outcome when your curiosity doesn't fit the usual script. History is full of thinkers who faced the same struggle. Socrates asked Athenians to question their beliefs and was sentenced to death for corrupting youth. Galileo pointed his telescope at the sky and upset the church by saying Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Nikola Tesla dreamed of wireless energy and was labeled eccentric, even mad. Each of these figures showed us something new, but only after society first rejected them. Their stories remind us that resistance to fresh ideas is not a modern quirk. It's a pattern going back thousands of years. You don't have to be a famous philosopher to feel this tension. Think about the coworker who challenged your boss's plan, only to be branded difficult, or the friend who suggested therapy when everyone else called it overdramatic. Maybe you've hesitated to speak up in a meeting because you feared looking ignorant if you raised a big question. These small moments add up. They teach us that our culture often values harmony over honesty and ease over exploration. Yet we all benefit when someone pushes the boundaries, whether that's improving a product at work or helping a friend see a new perspective on life. So how do deep thinkers stay sane? First, embrace solitude. Some of your best ideas will come when you're alone with your thoughts, on a walk, in a quiet room, or journaling late at night. That doesn't mean total isolation, but regular time to recharge without small talk. Second, seek kindred minds. Join online forums, local meetups, or book clubs where people welcome tough questions. Sharing your ideas in a safe space builds confidence and reminds you that you're not alone. Third, learn to share wisely. You don't need to overwhelm everyone with your deepest insights all at once. Start small. Drop a thought at a dinner party, ask a friend if they've considered a new angle, or write a blog post. Gauge the response and adjust. Gradual exposure helps others warm up to big ideas. Deep thinkers are more than oddballs. They're catalysts for change. Without them, medicine would stagnate, science would halt, and social reforms would never begin. Yes, they face resistance. Yes, they can feel lonely, but their resilience opens doors for all of us. Every time someone pushes for a fairer law, a better technology, or a richer understanding of ourselves, they chip away at outdated norms. And though society may reject the question at first, eventually it comes around, and often celebrates the very person it once shunned. At its core, fearing deep thinkers is a way for people to protect their comfort zones. We've seen how honest questions can make us uneasy, how solitude can feel heavy, and how history first rejects the bold before celebrating them. Yet, it's precisely those challenges that drive progress. Next time you notice yourself holding back a big question or shrinking from a lonely stretch of reflection, pause, grab a notebook, and jot down what's really on your mind. No filter, no judgment. By naming your thoughts, you begin to tame the fear and keep your insights alive, even when the world isn't quite ready for them. If this resonated, hit that like button to show you're ready for bigger questions. Share in the comments one thought you've held back. Let's start a safe space right here. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on challenging ideas and personal growth. Next week, we'll dive into another hidden truth that shapes our lives. Until then, keep asking, keep reflecting, and remember, every question you dare to ask brings us one step closer to a better world.